A few dozen supporters of Proposition 6 rallied in Mission Bay last week at the kickoff of a statewide bus tour. The face of the campaign is conservative talk radio host Carl DeMaio.
So what I need each and every one of you to do is commit today to taking a number of lawn signs. Take as many as you can. Take them back to your neighborhoods. Give them to your neighbors. You're going to be the most popular person on the street, I can tell you right now. Everyone wants them.
Prop 6 would repeal a law passed last year that raised the state gas tax by 12 cents per gallon and increased vehicle registration fees. Prop 6 would also require voter approval for future gas tax or vehicle fee increases. DeMaio says Caltrans and state lawmakers can't be trusted to spend the money effectively.
We want our roads fixed. A yes vote on Prop 6 is the only way to really fix the roads, because what we're saying to the politicians is, we know you're lying to us. We know that you already have enough money, and we're not giving you a single penny more until you fix our roads with the existing money.
More on how the state spends gas tax revenue in just a minute. The groups fighting against DeMaio to keep the gas tax hike include conservative groups like the California Chamber of Commerce and liberal interests like organized labor and environmental groups. I try to ask DeMaio about his opponents, but he quickly dismisses them.
They're all Sacramento interests. They're all Sacramento interests. Sacramento interests. The Sacramento interests. The Sacramento interests who are feeding at the trough. The Sacramento interests. If you're a lobbyist or a politician, you love raising taxes. If you're a member of a working family, you realize the cost of living in California is too high, and you don't want to throw good money after bad.
So why did the state legislature raise the gas tax in the first place? Well, the gas tax is a flat per gallon fee. It's not a percentage like the sales tax. Before last year, the state hadn't raised the gas tax since 1994. The orange line here shows how much the gas tax would be if it had been pegged to inflation back then. The blue line shows how the gas tax actually stayed flat until last year. Because of inflation, the gas tax revenue has been spread thinner and thinner. There are also more cars on the roads nowadays, driving longer distances, adding to the stress on our infrastructure. And cars are getting more fuel efficient. Hybrids and electric vehicles contribute just as much to the wear and tear on roads and bridges, but they pay far less into the gas tax fund, which pays for repairs.
This particular bridge was built in 1933.
Catherine Hill works for the League of California Cities, which opposes Prop 6. I meet her at a bridge on Pacific Highway that goes over the San Diego River and Friars Road. It's one of more than 60 bridges in San Diego County deemed structurally deficient by the federal government. It's one example of the backlog of infrastructure repairs that Hill says Prop 6 would exacerbate.
Currently, the funding that is going through, that is in jeopardy if Proposition 6 passes, is earmarked specifically for transportation funding. It's money that we haven't had before, and it's money to help alleviate the $130 billion in unmet needs that the entire state has. Those funding sources are now in the street, on the roads, doing repairs as we speak.
The extra gas tax money is paying for street resurfacing, increased public transit operations, and highway improvements across San Diego County. Hill says, with a brief interruption by a passing train, if Prop 6 passes, a number of those projects would suddenly be halted.
The money's just gone. There's no plan B the next day to keep those projects going. And we're back to square one. We're going backwards. We're going to have to figure out how we're going to fund these needs. And as we're trying to figure out how we meet those needs and keep the train running on time, then our infrastructure is going to continue to crumble.
We have more than enough money to fix roads if the politicians would just actually put the money into the roads.
The state does have controls on how it can spend gas tax money. Voters in June approved Prop 69, which locks in the extra gas tax money for transportation uses only. DeMaio dismisses that and hopes discontent over gas prices will carry his side to victory. Andrew Bowen, KPBS News.